We are now at turn 6 in Invasion Pearl Harbor. It is December 8th, 1941 in the afternoon. And at this point, the Japanese landings have been completed, so the landing phase is now going to be skipped for the rest of the phase. I go to the submarine warfare phase, and the die roll is a 4. It's another miss. So the Japanese decide that they want to take a combat phase. The Japanese commander decided to preempt the U.S. activation by declaring a combat phase, and the whole point was to prevent the Americans from building up forces in Honolulu. So the commander of the Marines attacks the 4 Honolulu city hexes. The eastern hex is defended by an infantry company. We roll for rebellion. There is none. But the American Army Air Force flies a close support mission, and the carrier planes from the Japanese carrier Shikoku also fly a support mission. After heavy fighting, the eastern Honolulu hex falls to the Japanese. Then the Marines continue the assault on Honolulu with supporting fire from the battleship Hiei, and this time the rebellion occurs. The U.S. Navy carrier aircraft are not involved, but the 25th Division's infantry unit is eliminated, and another city hex falls to the Japanese. So now the Americans are not getting the defensive benefit of the terrain in the city hexes because of the rebellion. However, since a battleship has fired in support, the American carrier planes can make another naval attack. So I rolled a die for this, but I failed to find the hit range, so the Imperial Japanese Navy remains unscathed here. The Japanese Marines continue their assault on Honolulu with more close support from the Japanese carrier aircraft, and 2 more companies of the United States 25th Infantry fall, and the Japanese occupy more of Honolulu. And then finally, a 4th attack is launched by the Marines against the city. And this time the battleship Kirishima fires in support, along with the air support from the carrier Hiryu. And the Japanese take out 2 more infantry units and capture another sector of Honolulu. Next, the commander of the Japanese Army, which are the orange units, decides to launch a final assault against the westernmost section of Honolulu, but carrier aircraft are going to support this effort, but this time it's countered by U.S. naval airplanes from the Enterprise, and this attack is repulsed, and the Japanese Army suffers 2 step losses. The Americans are continuing here to control at least part of Honolulu, so this gives a slight morale boost, but the Japanese player currently has 11 victory points now because of the 4 Honolulu hexes that they control. Then we go to the chit draws and the American activation phases, and the 25th Infantry decides not to attack, even though they had an opportunity to, because it will most likely help the Japanese player if we get repulsed in this attack. So we just sit and dig in. Instead, the commander of the 25th Infantry concentrates on building a defensive position on Fort Shafter to slow down Japanese advances toward Pearl Harbor, which are expected. Also, the U.S. Marine Corps, which are the dark blue units, take up defensive positions trying to block approach to the forts on the southern part of Pearl Harbor. Then the 24th Infantry, which is the darker green, forms a line on the southern side of Pearl Harbor. You can see that depicted in the picture. the Japanese take their movement phase, and the commander of the Marines, which is in the red, continue to move to the westernmost part of Honolulu. You can see a number of companies are piled up there, and the rest are left to guard the other end of Honolulu from the 25th Division, which is at Diamond Head. And there's really no further activity here because early evening, is approaching. We're going to go into the next turn, and this last section of Honolulu is going to be left for the Marines to take, and the Army commander is trying to move the orange units toward Fort Shafter for the next attack. That brings turn 6 to a close. Please stay tuned if you'd like to see what happens on turn 7. Have a great day.